Have you ever felt a deep sense of dread, a knot in your gut, when someone in your life asks for something that just feels wrong? Not wrong in a big, obvious way, but wrong in a subtle, soul-crushing way that you can't quite articulate. It's as if they're not just asking for a favor, but for a piece of your very essence, a piece of your peace. You give it because you feel you have to, but with each concession, you feel a little bit smaller, a little bit weaker. We are told to be givers. We are told that kindness and generosity are the cornerstones of a good life. But what if there are certain demands, certain requests, that are not acts of love, but acts of spiritual theft? Carl Jung, the legendary psychologist who spent his life mapping the uncharted territories of the human soul, understood this with a terrifying clarity. He knew that the most dangerous people are not the ones who take what is material, but the ones who demand things that drain you of your most vital, psychological energy. Today, we're not talking about bad people. We are talking about parasitic patterns of behavior, insidious asks that can slowly, imperceptibly, erode your sense of self, your purpose, your very soul. Jung would argue that these requests are not just innocent bids for connection, but unconscious assaults on your process of individuation, the journey to becoming a whole, sovereign self. This is about psychological self-defense. This is about learning to recognize the warning signs of a person who will, knowingly or unknowingly, diminish you until there's nothing left. There are 5 key things to look out for, 5 demands that, once requested, should be your immediate, unquestionable signal to stay away. These are the red flags of the soul, the markers of a relationship that will consume you. The first is anyone who asks you for constant emotional validation. You might think you're being a good friend, a good partner, a good son or daughter by constantly reassuring someone. You tell them they are enough, that they are beautiful, that they are valuable. But what if they keep coming back for more, no matter how many times you give it? This isn't about support. It's about being used as an emotional crutch. Jung understood that true self-worth comes from within, from the arduous process of integrating your shadow and your light. When someone demands that you become the sole source of their validation, they are asking you to do their inner work for them. They are asking you to be their substitute for a lack of internal authority. They are not asking you to love them. They are asking you to be a slave to their insecurities. This is not a sustainable dynamic. It's a psychic drain. The more you give, the more they demand, because the validation you provide, coming from the outside, can never fill the hole on the inside. It's like pouring water into a bottomless bucket. A person who constantly needs you to affirm their existence will, in the end, resent you for having the inner strength they lack. Your purpose is not to be someone else's hero. Your purpose is to be the hero of your own life. The second is anyone who asks you to compromise your core values for their comfort. We are taught that compromise is a necessary part of a relationship, but there is a crucial difference between compromising on where to eat for dinner and compromising on who you are at your core. The person who demands this doesn't respect your individuality. They want to absorb it. They might ask you to stop seeing certain friends, to change your habits, to soften your ambitions, all under the guise of our relationship. They'll say, "I just want you to be more like me," or "You have to choose." This is an unconscious power play. Jung knew that the path to individuation requires you to stand firm in your truth, to own your unique self, even if it makes others uncomfortable. The person who asks you to betray your core values is asking you to sacrifice your soul for their temporary peace of mind. And when you do, they will lose respect for you. Because deep down, the psyche respects strength and integrity, not weakness and conformity. Your character is not a bargaining chip to be traded for someone else's approval. Guard your principles as if they are the very keys to your kingdom, because they are. The third thing is anyone who asks you to give up your sovereignty and purpose for them. This is perhaps the most insidious request of all. It can come cloaked in the language of romance. You are my world. I can't live without you. While it sounds like love, it's often a demand for complete possession. This person wants you to stop being an individual and start being a functional part of their life. They want you to abandon your dreams, your passions, your purpose outside of them, because your freedom is a threat to their need for control. Jung saw that every person has a unique destiny, a personal myth to live out. To abandon this quest for another person is to commit a grave psychological sin. The person who asks you to give up your purpose is asking you to kill the very thing that makes you an individual. They want you to be a part of their story, not the hero of your own. And let me tell you, a relationship built on the wreckage of a sacrificed soul is a tomb, not a home. Your purpose is your spiritual GPS. To hand it over to someone else is to become a passenger in your own life, and a passenger has no control over the destination. So fourthly, stay away from anyone who asks you to carry their emotional baggage. We all have trauma. We all have inner wounds. But there's a fundamental difference between a partner who shares their pain in a bid for connection and a person who dumps their emotional weight on you and expects you to carry it. This is the person who is never happy unless you are in a state of crisis with them. They will weaponize their sadness, their anxiety, their past traumas to manipulate your sympathy and attention. They are looking for a codependent relationship where your well-being is tied to their misery. Jung's work on the shadow taught us that we are all responsible for integrating our own unhealed parts. When someone asks you to be their emotional trash can, they are asking you to take on their shadow work. They are asking you to suffer in their place. This is not love. It's a form of emotional vampirism. You are not a therapist. You are not a savior. You are a partner. Your role is to support, not to be a container for their unprocessed pain. If you take on their burdens, you will eventually become resentful, and they will lose respect for you. True relationships are a partnership of two whole individuals, not a fusion of one healthy person with another's unhealed wounds. And the final one, stay away from anyone who asks you to be someone else. This is a subtle one, but it's a poison. This person doesn't want to love you for who you are. They want to love the idealized version of you they have in their mind. They will subtly, and sometimes not so subtly, try to change you. They will criticize your laugh, your clothes, your friends, your opinions, all to mold you into the person they believe you should be. This is a rejection of your authentic self. This person is not in a relationship with you. They are in a relationship with a fantasy. Jung knew that the most important thing we can do in this life is to become our unique, authentic self. The person who tries to change you is trying to stop your individuation. They are trying to make you an actor in their play, not the hero of your own story. And a life lived as a performance for someone else's approval is a prison. A relationship with a person who demands this will leave you feeling unseen, misunderstood, and ultimately alone. Because you are, in essence, alone with the ghost of the person they want you to be. So what's the takeaway? Jung's work was a testament to the power of the individual soul. The journey of individuation is a sacred one. It requires courage, self-respect, and the ability to say no. It requires you to protect your psychological and spiritual energy as if it were the most precious resource on earth, because it is. When someone comes into your life and asks for one of these 5 things: constant validation, a compromise of your values, the sacrifice of your purpose, the burden of their trauma, or the denial of your authentic self, they are not asking for love. They are asking for a piece of your soul. And a soul, my friends, is not something you give away. It's something you cultivate, something you protect, something you lead. When you learn to say no to these demands, you are not being selfish. You are being sovereign. You are not being unkind. You are being whole. And it is only from a place of wholeness that you can build a relationship that truly lasts. One that doesn't consume you, but amplifies you.